Sports Lounge. This is Bo. Back in the house, it's my turn, my picks. You know, guys, I have to say that mixed martial arts taking over like a firestorm, and so is the IFL. Every time I turn on to sports now, they're innuendoing about the IFL. The little joke is now the chugging train. It's moving on fast. But we've got one of the superstars on the show today now. It's Brad Blackburn. He's a cross between Mayweather Jr. and Bill Murray. He's got quite a reputation for being a jokester, funny, laid-back guy, but he brings it hard. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing all right.
Man, Brad, that last fight you were in with Jay Huron, man, that was pretty impressive there. How did that set up to jump right in with it?
How did what?
How did you set that up when you went with Jay this past week on setting up for that KO?
I've been working with a lot of pro boxers, got a good boxing coach now, and, I just planned to have confidence in my wrestling abilities, so I really didn't think it was going to go down, so I planned on just brawling the whole time, and, I set it up with a jab. I threw a jab and followed it up with the right hand, and he didn't see it coming, and he went down, and then I finished him off.
I mean, that was like left, right. When he went down, he was right for the taking, and it was a smooth move right there. Your footwork is the most impressive thing to seeing on you, your movement back and forth, looking for your opening. What have you done to prepare yourself for that? I know you've done some boxing, but what have you done recently to really get you prepared for this? This is really a unique step you have.
Well, actually, you'll probably be seeing that a lot more and more as I fight, because I started out boxing, and ever since I've been doing MMA, I've been focusing on my wrestling and my jiu-jitsu. But striking has still been my strength, but I haven't really been working on it. And lately, this last 6 months or so, or since I got with Maurice, I've actually been focusing on my strength. So you're going to see a lot more of that in my upcoming fights. I might take somebody down just to mix it up, but besides that, mostly I'm just going to try to keep it on the feet.
I mean, the IFL is just a whirlwind. It started off as people talking about it, and right now, everybody who's fighting this league that becomes somebody is going to be a future legend. And it's got to be rolling through your minds how fast the IFL is taking over the mixed martial arts. You're on TV all the time. What goes when you set up for this and realize this? Do you realize what a building block when you guys are all involved in this program is?
Yes, I do. It's a big opportunity. When I first started fighting, my first several fights were for free. And I hoped it would pay off in the future, but I didn't know. I was just doing it because it's something I like to do, and it seems like it's actually starting to pay off now. So I really appreciate where I'm at and how the sport's growing and how we're starting to get paid and recognized for what we do and what we work hard at.
I mean, you guys are the constant professionals. You are probably the most fit athletes anywhere. I mean, wrestlers in high school and college were the most fit players. I don't care what football players say. I don't care what basketball players say. I played high school ball, and I know exactly who the strong people are, and it's definitely you guys. When you guys step into a room, you've got to have confidence that people know who you are and where you're backing. Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years in this great arena?
Oh, next couple of years, I want to be known as one of the best welterweights for sure. Actually, I want to be known as that within a year and a half. I feel like I'm one of the best, and, I want some more fights so I can get out there and prove it. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I plan on fighting still for the next few years, so I want to be at the top of the food chain. I want to be known as one of the best, and I want to be fighting the best.
Yeah, the interesting about you all, which is really impressive for people who are just fans and love watching it, who grew up on boxing, is how cerebral you guys are in this fight that's considered a blood sport or savagery. You are far more literate than even football players and boxers are. What is the reason for that? It's amazing to see interviews, and you guys talk like you're an English professor. What is the deal with that, man?
Well, at the top level of this sport, one thing that I notice is you got to have good work ethic. Having big balls and being crazy ain't going to get you to the top in this sport. You got to put in your hours. You don't just learn 6 punches and get good defense and get in good shape and go in there and go. You have to know something to stop it. So that means you have to learn how to wrestle. You have to learn jiu-jitsu. If you do want to kickbox, you have to be able to wrestle. So I think, most of the people at the top level all have good work ethic and, are good people, and you'll find that more and more. Everybody's decent people, and, most of them were, or a lot of them were successful before they even got into the sport. It's just something they love to do.
Now when you hear broadcasters call it a savage sport, what do you constantly think about when they say things that lame?
I think they don't know anything about it. They're just looking at it from the surface. They just see some blood and see some knockouts, and that's all they know. They know nothing about jiu-jitsu. They've obviously never trained. They've obviously never been in a gym to see how technical this actually is. Like I said, the reason why I can apply my striking now is because I've been wrestling and doing my jiu-jitsu for 7 years. So now when I get my stand-up tight, I'm actually going to get to work it because I'm good at everything else too. And, it's way more. I've boxed, I've kickboxed, and this is way more technical than both of those.
Now, without giving away too much of the goods for the listeners, but when you're in the fight, what are kind of things you do to telltale signs that you got a setup coming, that you're going to have somebody bite on it and you're able to capitalize on it? What are kind of things you do to get yourself set up?
Well, I'm